And what a garden. I see it already in my mind's eye. Spirea? Cool white lilies? Tall tulips nodding in the sun. And iris that would outdo an orchid. Spring must have arrived while I stood there dreaming. All of a sudden, everywhere you looked, buds began to swell and burst open. Leaves unfolded and lay on their backs, looking up at the sky. Every wind carried the smell of damp earth and the wet bark of trees drenched by snow. Now came the moment we'd waited for so long. Out we went, gay as larks, wearing what the well-dressed gardener should wear, conscious in our new roles. Oh, what bright new tools, and what bright shining hopes we had. Brand new gloves over our tender city hands. This was our very own. More wonderful than...
We really felt sorry for them. One look tell us that this charming young couple didn't know which end of a... Thought we'd be good neighbors. Tell them what they're up against. Give them a little friendly advice. I broke the bad news gently. Folks, I said, you've got about the worst soil of anybody this side of the Mississippi. It's so full of clay you could make bricks out of it. And I ought to know. I watched those bulldozers scrape it up when your house was built.
It's a perfect spring. Flowers by the million blooming everywhere. Our own garden. Even our most promising plants had turned brown and sickly. Still, we did have one prize bloom, a lovely, lonely, grown seed. And as though nature resented even this small victory, up came a storm. That's when we found out that rain can be either or a catastrophe, depending on what your soil. For us, it was a catastrophe. When the storm finally stopped, we went out to see what the damage was. Torn deep gashes in our soil. It had flooded the plants and stayed there in muddy puddles. We walked like a funeral through a swamp. Imagine my consternation when I found out they were for me. I knew she meant well, but I didn't want her. I wanted my own. Have husband put in more soil. Has become a reality. The hard, disheartening earth that resisted all our efforts has become friendly, workable soil, yielding new with every changing season. Year after year, I observe a very personal anniversary. On this day, I pick an extra lavish bouquet to my neighbor, both in thanks and in memory of a certain bouquet she once gave me. Before I was garden-wise,